Good morning. Good afternoon, actually. Good afternoon here on the East Coast. Good morning on the West Coast. Y'all know what it is. How y'all doing this morning? This afternoon, this evening, wherever you're at in the world. Give y'all a minute to get in here. Please hit the like button when you do. That'd be helpful.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Oh my God, why? Alright, man, hold on. This ain't gonna work. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Good night, all that type of shit. It is the morning after fight night. And what an exciting fight night it was. A couple of upsets, including an upset with Super Almatiz in Puerto Rico. You know, he got upset. Gary Antoine Russell got upset. You know what I'm saying? He lost to Puello. It was an exciting night of fights. And, you know, David Benavidez, he pulled off his win against Vosdick. Although he seemed to struggle a little bit, you know what I'm saying, at that new weight class. You know, he didn't have as much power. You know, his hand speed was still there. But, you know, he didn't, you know, those guys up there, they're a little bigger, you know what I'm saying? So he was able to pull off the win. And, you know, I think against Bivol or Beterbiev, he might struggle a little. I think he should take, before he goes and tries to face those guys, I think he should try to take a couple of, get a couple of fights at 175 if he wants to stay there and just get acclimated to the new weight. But I know they're talking about him going back down to 168 to face Canelo. I don't know if Canelo ever fights Benavidez. I mean, come on, right? Who knows? I don't think he ever fights Benavidez. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think Benavidez needs to focus on 175 and try to, you know, try to unify, try to get some belts, try to win. I think he should just focus on acclimating the 175 and seeing what he can do there. And I think, but that was a good fight. That was a good fight. And now, the subject of this live stream, I'm going to get into Frank Martin versus Gervonta Tank Davis. That was a good fight as well. I mean, it was, I'm not going to say that Gervonta showcased anything, right? Showcased anything new. He didn't showcase anything new. He did the same thing essentially he did to Leo Santa Cruz against Frank Martin. You know, except with Leo Santa Cruz, who was also against the ropes in the corner. The difference between Leo Santa Cruz and Frank Martin is Leo Santa Cruz was actually throwing punches for Gervonta to slip and throw the uppercut. I don't know what Frank Martin's deal was, but he backed into that corner and he just froze. He didn't do anything. He didn't throw anything. He tried to get out the way, but the problem is you can't do this. Listen, you cannot do the same shit over and over again against Gervonta Tank Davis. That is the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is boxing, is to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results against Gervonta Tank Davis. Because Gervonta Tank Davis is a master of deciphering patterns. And Frank Martin definitely showed a pattern in this fight. If Frank was not in the center of the ring, if he was not able to move and box and all that other shit, and he was backed into the ropes, backed into the corner, he did the same shit every single time. There was one point where he backed into the ropes and he had the high guard up and he just stood there waiting for Gervonta to throw. And I'm like, what, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What in the fuck are you doing there? Because, listen, Frank Martin was successful in probably 5 or 6 rounds. He was successful boxing Gervonta Tank Davis. He was successful fighting in the center of the ring. When he was able to use his distance, keep Gervonta on the outside, land crisp combinations, he was successful. I mean, he pieced Gervonta Tank Davis up quite a few times. So, of course, Gervonta is going to turn it up at some point. We have to understand this about Gervonta Tank Davis. If you're going to face Gervonta, you have to understand that he is going to turn it up somewhere between rounds 5, 6, or 7. He is going to turn up the pressure. He is going to be more active, in the Gervonta Tank Davis way. We know that he likes to pitch. He's a pot shotter, right? He's a pot shotter. He takes pot shots. He likes to make every punch he throw mean something and have it be effective. And he was very effective going to the body of Frank Martin. But so was Frank. Frank was effective going to the body of Gervonta. He was effective with his combinations in the center of the ring. He was effective with his boxing to a degree. And I'm going to get into what his fatal flaw was in his boxing. And I don't know if I can say this, it comes with the lack of experience or if he just don't listen, right? I would say it's the latter. I would say that Frank Martin was not listening because the things that he did not do, right? The mistakes that he made, you learn not to make them early on in your boxing training, right? Certain things that you just don't do, right? And that's including repeating patterns, right? Showing a pattern. And listen, if you're going to manipulate your opponent into believing that you do have a pattern, that's fine, right? Make them think that you're going to do something, right? And then change it up abruptly. Change it up and do different things. Show different looks. Use different angles, right? But Frank didn't do that. He was just using the same. He was using the same patterns. He was comfortable with those patterns and just repeated them over and over again. And especially when he got thrown into the ropes. I don't feel like he held enough. I don't feel like, because there were plenty of opportunities where he could hold Gervonta and turn him and get out of the ropes. Or there are certain things that he could have done to get off those ropes. But for whatever reason, he got to the ropes, he got to the corner, and he froze. Obviously, every time you did that, what did he do? He laid into you with combinations. It's like even more combinations than he normally throws, right? Because Gervonta, he's not a combination puncher. But what I will say about Frank Martin is that his chin is a little better than most people Gervonta goes up against. I know he got knocked out, but it was not a one-shot knockout, right? Now, one shot dazed him, and then Gervonta used a second shot to drop him. But I feel like, if Frank Martin would have been a little more alert, a little more aware in that moment, he could have got out of that, right? He didn't have to get dazed by that shot. All he had to do was make certain adjustments. Gervonta got him in that corner when the knockout happened and hit him with several shots. It was not a one-shot knockout, right? So that says something about Frank. But there is a problem that Frank has that he has to do. He did not make the proper adjustments, right? Now, I want to talk about adjustments because it was a point of contention between two boxing YouTubers, BFTB and KO Boxing, Knockout Boxing 87 TV. Shout out to both of those dudes. Real solid YouTube boxing scholars, right? These guys know their shit. But I will say that KO said that Gervonta knows how to make adjustments, and that he typically makes adjustments in fights, and I would have to disagree with that, because the examples that he used do not apply to making adjustments, right? Like he said with Leo Santa Cruz, he used that as an example, saying that Leo Santa Cruz was throwing the same combinations over and over again, and Gervonta capitalized and adjusted. No, he didn't have to adjust, right? He was just setting up Leo Santa Cruz because Leo Santa Cruz was repeating the pattern. It wasn't that Gervonta made an adjustment. It's that Leo Santa Cruz did not make an adjustment. Tank didn't have to make any adjustments. He used the same game plan. He did not change his game plan against Leo Santa Cruz. He allowed Leo Santa Cruz to show his game plan, to show his patterns, to show what he would do in certain situations, right? And whenever Leo Santa Cruz was not working, whatever Leo Santa Cruz was doing did not work against Gervonta, and he did not make the adjustments. He just kept repeating, hoping, oh, well, maybe I'll land it, or maybe I'll do this. And maybe when he was throwing those straight right hands, right? When Leo was throwing those straight right hands, doing that same combination, Gervonta slipped and threw an uppercut. But it was an adjustment. He just sprang the trap, right? So that's not an adjustment. An adjustment would have been for Leo is to not throw that right hand. It's not working, okay? Even when I hit him with it, it's not doing anything. So I need to change my strategy. That is making an adjustment. Gervonta did not have to change his strategy. Therefore, he did not make an adjustment. You understand what I'm saying? Just like last night against Frank Martin. Gervonta did not have to make any adjustments. He followed his game plan. You know what I'm saying? He stood in the middle of the ring with Frank, and Frank got off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Tank allowed Frank to get off, but he said, okay, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. He didn't make any adjustments. He stood in the middle of the ring with Frank, allowed Frank to throw some combinations, that some landed, and then boom, he started walking him down. All right, let me see what happens when I walk him down, right? Okay, when I walk him down, he's good, right? He's good at boxing until he gets to the ropes. When he gets to the ropes, he don't know what to do with himself. So, okay, I'm going to use that against him. That's not making an adjustment. That's just setting a trap and springing a trap. The person that needed to make the adjustment in that fight was Frank Martin. Frank Martin is the one that needed to make the adjustments. He did not do it. Good energy was good. Red Hook Brooklyn salute was good, man. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to the Brooklyn Cats. So Frank Martin did not make the adjustments. Tank did not need to make adjustments. You understand what I'm saying? Tank was not forced to change his strategy and on the fly and come up with something else. He was not forced to do that. I would say the only fight that Tank Davis had to make adjustments was against Pitbull Cruz, because I think I know the exact moment Tank hurt his left hand against Pitbull Cruz. It was when Pitbull Cruz was pressing Tank Davis. He threw some shots, right? And Tank slipped and attempted to throw a left uppercut, right? A left uppercut. And it looked like a powerful uppercut. Tank put a lot of stank on that uppercut. But what happened was, Pitbull had his guard up. Pitbull, that was a great defensive maneuver that Pitbull did. And so Tank's uppercut landed on Pitbull's glove. And if you slow it down and you look at it, or if you look at it in slow motion, it looks like that left hand landed at a weird angle. And so that's when Tank, I believe, hurt his hand in that fight. And so what did he have? He no longer had his left hand. So he had to adjust. He had to box more. He had to turn Pitbull. He had to use Pitbull's dogged determination to walk him down against him. He spun him, caught him with some shots, picked his shots, whatever. Pitbull couldn't land a lot. The aggression was not effective. Tank boxed well. He landed some shots. He had great defense, ring generalship. You know what I'm saying? He knew not to get caught in the corners. He knew not to get caught on the ropes. And that's just what happened. Tank made adjustments, right? And started to box more. He had to change his strategy. That is making an adjustment. Well, he did not do that. He did not have to make an adjustment against Frank Martin. But what could Frank Martin have done better against Tank Davis last night? Right? Well, you were doing good in the center ring, so that's where you want to stay. And you want to make sure you're using your jab, right? Okay, you were doing that effectively. You're using your jab, you were throwing combinations. Some of them were getting through, a lot of them were getting through. You were able to pick his high guard. You were able to pierce that at times, you know what I'm saying? But you were doing that, but when Tank started to walk you down, you did something, the same thing over and over again, and it was not effective, right? You were circling to the right. You're circling to the is towards Tank's power hand. Tank's left hand, that's his money bag, right? That's his banger. Why are you circling to the right over and over again? Why are you continuing to circle to the right? You were circling to the right when you were in the ring. You were circling to the right as you were getting walked down. You were circling to the right as you got forced against the ropes. And in those cases, Tank was able to use his ring generalship to force Frank Martin into a position where he nullified his combinations, right? That was Frank Martin's bread and butter in that fight. Were those combinations, those crisp combinations that you were scoring with. You were scoring with those combinations. But you kept circling to the right. Why are you doing that? Derrick James told you, do not go to the ropes. Do not get caught on the ropes. But you kept getting caught on the ropes. And worse still, you're going to get caught on the ropes sometimes, but you got to be able to get out of there. You got to be able to not get pinned. You do not want to be against the ropes against Tank Davis. You do not want that. But at the same time, listen, if you're Tank Davis, if I'm Tank Davis and I see you keep circling to the right, well, all I got to do is walk to your walk to your left, right? Walk you down to your left. You're going to circle right for sure, because now, that's what you're going to do, right? I'm going to walk you down. I'm going to cut you off, right? As you circle to the left, to the right, I'm going to cut you off in that direction. You're going to have to go back now, but you're going to constantly circle to the left. So I'm cutting you off, and eventually you're going to get to those ropes. You're going to get to those ropes, and you have to be able to see that. You have to be able to know that. Okay, if I keep circling to the right and I get caught in the ropes and I try to get out by circling to the right, he's just going to cut me off with a left uppercut or a left bolo punch or whatever to the left. He's going to use that power hand. He's going to dip to the left, bam, dip to the left, bam, right? When you try to circle, you're in those ropes, you're in that corner. You try to circle to the right, bam, bam, I dip to the left, bam. And that, you know what I'm saying? All I got to do is dip, slip. I don't even have to slip because you're not throwing anything at the same time. At the same time, you ain't throwing shit. You're not throwing anything. You're freezing. You get. What are you doing, bro? You can't do that. If you discover, okay, every time I get to the ropes, I circle to the right, Tank cuts me off, not just with his feet, but with some looping left hands. An uppercut, a hook, you know what I'm saying? Dip to the hook, and then the left in different variations. So, okay, I'm going to feint. Why not now? I'm going to feint to the right. I'm going to feint to the right with my foot. Make sure that it's pronounced so that he really thinks you're going to go that way. But then juke left. Juke left, and at the same time as I'm juking, maybe throw as you step to the left, all right, you feint to the right, right? Throw a jab, right? And as you're throwing that jab, you step to the left at the same time. And then you shuffle out of there, right? You step, shuffle, right? Step, shuffle. Step to the left, throw that pawing right hand out there, push him off you a little bit. And then, you know, even when you're stepping when you feint to the right, maybe feint to the right, and then throw that pawing jab or stiff arm him, right? Now he thinks you're going to go to the right, to his left, but you feint that way. Boom, you use that left or that right hand. Use that right hand to blind him and push him off you a little bit. Step to the left and shuffle out. Shuffle out of there. You know what I'm saying? Now you have his back. Now you have his back. So as you land and complete that shuffle to the left, guess what? You throw a right hook to the body. Or you know what I'm saying? You throw a right hook to the body. Right? Throw a right hook to the body as he's trying to turn to meet you. Because guess what? You set a pattern. He thinks you're going to go right. Boom. You throw that jab. You throw that right jab. You step to the left. Shuffle out. Throw that right hook. You know what I'm saying? Throw another right hook, maybe a double right hook. Bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? And then, as he's trying to turn to meet you, throw a stiff jab. Throw him off balance a little bit. That's something that you could have done, but no, you kept circling to the right over and over again. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that. And you freeze on the ropes. You're waiting for him to throw something. Well, why are we doing this? You cannot wait for Tank to throw something. Come on, man. I think that would have been an adjustment. So now you broke the pattern. You broke the pattern. Now he doesn't know what you're going to do. Now he's going to be more hesitant to walk you to the ropes or into the corner because he understands, okay, he has the ring IQ, he has the ring generalship to actually get out of those traps. Now I have to do something different, right? Now we got to see what happens. Meet him back and then start circling to the left or something, like circle to the right, boom, boom. Try to throw some combinations as he's coming at you, as he's walking you down. You know what I'm saying? Punch his arm or something, you know, because he had that high guard. Man, Tank Davis' high guard was amazing. It was a Spartan shield. So, okay, maybe bring that shield down a little bit. Throw some shots to the body, right? Go right, boom. You know, but don't continue to go that way. Do some L steps. Maybe step back and step to the left, step back, step to the right. You know what I'm saying? Feint in, feint out. Maybe go in and out. Do something else. Do something different instead of just circling to the right. You know? I mean, you're circling toward his power hand. Right? But once you show him, okay, I see that you picked up my pattern, I'm not going to allow you to use that against me. So now I'm going to feint right and I'm gonna go left. Feint right, go left. Throw a blinding jab. You know, shuffle out. Don't get caught in the ropes no more. You know what I'm saying? Roll out. You know. So once he feels like, okay, I pressed him in the corner, he's gonna go right, juke left, or whatever. He's gonna feint right, but he's gonna try to shuffle out. So now, while he's trying to shuffle out, I'm going to step right and throw a right hook. You know what I'm saying? To the head or something like that. But so instead of shuffling out, now you roll out. You roll and step. You know what I'm saying? Do something, change it up. Or feint right, step left, right? Like you're getting ready to go left. He's going to try to cut you off that way, but go back right. You know what I'm saying? Do some different shit. Stop doing, of course, these guys, they're the ones in the ring. They're the ones that have to perform. So it's easy to say what you should and should not do. But I don't know. But everybody Sunday morning quarterbacks a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? It's just something. I don't think that Tank Davis. Much props to Tank Davis for pulling this one out. Defeating Frank Martin in that fashion, getting that KO. But he didn't do anything to me that spectacular and indecipherable that one could not get out of getting KO'd like that. Like, I don't think that Tank did anything that proper adjustments wouldn't have gotten you out of. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like if Frank would have not gotten trapped, not repeated the patterns, had changed it up, gave Tank a different look, and tried to stay at the center ring where he was having the most success, and then maybe start throwing some uppercuts, doing something different, I think that he could have won that fight on the scorecards. He wasn't going. I could tell that Tank, the power wasn't there to stop Tank. So, he definitely could have won on the scorecards, even though they're saying that Tank was up on the scorecard. So who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows what would have happened? But at least if you would have went the distance against Tank Davis, your stock would have been a lot higher, and you could have had a great case for a rematch. Now they're going to act like you don't deserve a rematch because you got knocked out in the 8th round. But I think that he still could get it. I think it was competitive enough for Frank to, have a little bit of ground and basis for a rematch. I think that could be the case. I think that could have, I think that's something that could be possible. But no one wants to entertain that. I mean, look how resistant everybody is about Tank rematching Pitbull. And that was a very, to me, it wasn't a close fight, but there is an argument for a rematch with Pitbull. There's an argument for it, right? Not only because Pitbull was able to go the distance and put a lot of pressure on Tank and make him uncomfortable, but also because Tank's left hand was injured, and it would be nice to see what Tank could do against Pitbull with a healed left hand. And now that Pitbull, he had a great performance in his last fight against Rolly Romero, but it was Rolly Romero, so that's not saying much. But Pitbull looked a lot better. He looked less sloppy. He looked more. He didn't throw. Like I say, he looked less sloppy. He looked like a miniature Mike Tyson in there, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe Tank Davis could test his mettle against someone like Pitbull again, right? I'm not interested in seeing Tank rematch Ryan Garcia. What's up with that, man? Like, okay, so Tank Davis beat Frank Martin, but he's still a sucker ass motherfucker for still like supporting and bigging up and entertaining Ryan Garcia. Like, why are you still rolling with Ryan Garcia? You know this motherfucker's a drug cheat. So why is Tank all up Ryan Garcia's ass like that? You want to take him out on a date. You know what I'm saying? That was before you found out he was a cheater, but you wanted to take this guy on a date. You wanted to dance with him and all the silly shit. You know what I'm saying? He comes to the ring with a bunch of people, and you give him a hug and all this other type of shit. And like, you told him that you was gonna smack him if you found out that he actually cheated. Well, guess what? You found out he actually cheated, right? Everything that Ryan Garcia tried to do to clear his name did not work. Because why? Because everything that he did was bullshit. All that bullshit with the goddamn ashwagandha and the you know, the supplements, the hair follicle test, everything that he attempted did not, it did not do anything to prove his lack of innocence, right? To prove his innocence, which he did not have. So I don't know what's up with Tank, man. Like, whatever, man. Like, you and then you're like anti-Vada now. It's just weird. Like, Tank is on some weird shit still. He's still on some weird shit. He beat Frank Martin, but he's still on some weird shit. And you can't be mad at me if I have to question Tank Davis's integrity in terms of drug testing, right? And he's a liar too, man. Like, Tank Davis is a liar. You know, he's a liar. Who did you test with, Tank? Who did you test with? Like, why are you like, oh yeah, you saw it. Yeah, it was probably them. You don't know who's testing you? You don't know who's testing your urine samples? You don't know who's administering your drug test, your performance enhancing drug test? You don't know who's administering that shit? I don't understand. And you're saying it's not Vada, but Frank Martin was getting tested by Vada, and Vada says that they do not do that. They don't test one fighter and not the other. That's not how they roll. So what is going on here? Like, that, I need answers on that. I need answers. Like, why is Tank so resistant to Vada now, right? He insisted that Ryan Garcia use Vada for their fight. He didn't have a problem with Vada before that, but now all of a sudden you got a problem with Vada because, you know, because Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia, who tests dirty with Vada for performance enhancing drugs. But 22 Tank lets you hit him, not just the first round. And listen, I'm not gonna say Tank lets you hit him, right? Because Tank can get hit, right? Tank can get hit on accident, right? Like, he doesn't have to let you hit him. He didn't have to let Frank Martin hit him. Frank was just able to open him up with combinations and land some punches. I'm giving full credit to Frank for that. I'm just thinking, you know, I'm just saying that Tank is willing to eat punches to walk you down and to set traps for you. You know, and if he doesn't feel too much power on your punches, he's gonna walk you down. And that's the thing too. So if he doesn't detect much power from your punches, he's gonna walk you down. But if he feels like you can hurt him, he'll let you walk him down and he'll set traps that way. So Tank, there's certain ways to get him. There's certain ways to get him. You know what I'm saying? He's not the Rubik's Cube of boxing. He's not. He's no Mayweather defensively. So there are ways to get Tank, but Frank Martin just didn't have the wherewithal to do it. He didn't listen to his corner. He kept freezing in the corner. I don't know what the fuck that was about. You go to the ropes and you stand there and you go like, and you just, what are you doing? Like, do something else, right? Or like when Tank started throwing shots, you circle to the right, you circle to the right, you circle to the right, you circle over and over and over again. Yeah, Frank Martin was a little too respectful, yes, of Tank Davis's power. There's always that fear factor that comes to fighting somebody like Tank Davis. I'm not going to knock him for that. You have to be cautious. But at the same time, if you know Tank has heat in that left hand, why are you circling to the right over him? I just don't get that. I don't get it. Why are you going to the ropes? Why aren't you spinning? Why aren't you using that footwork and that agility and that quickness of yours? Because you're quicker and more agile than Tank. Use that to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the situations. Like, you know, hey, do what you got to do. You know, you can't just keep getting caught in the ropes. You got to take it. Yes, you have to take a risk. Exactly. You have to take a risk, but not an unnecessary risk. To me, the biggest risk that Frank took was circling to the right, stepping to the right, stepping to the right, stepping to the right, whenever Tank pressed him. That was the biggest risk. He probably move it. He would have been better off. Stick it moving, throw some come in, throw some combinations, and go back out, circle in different directions, you know what I'm saying? Throw some feints, actual feints, make Tank react, but it is what it is, man. Like, the fight's over. What happened. Tank got the better of him. Tank figured him out. And Frank Martin didn't make adjustments. Tank Davis didn't have to adjust because Frank Martin didn't give him a reason to adjust. See, that's the thing. You have to give Tank a reason to adjust, and he gets uncomfortable when he has to adjust, right? Even though he does it well. If you throw him off his game, you can make him adjust, set a new pattern, allow him to get comfortable with that, and then change it up again. That's what I would say. Ring out of tedious. What'd you say? Tank would let him clinch. Yeah, I mean. So the Tank didn't allow Frank to clinch, and Frank was unsuccessful because he didn't clinch at the proper times. He didn't do it the right way. So you have to maybe while Tank is throwing combinations, clinch or throw some combinations, only if you're caught in the corner and you feeling crowded. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just, clinching wasn't necessarily the answer. Clinching wasn't the answer. The answer was go that way. Don't stop going that way. Go this way, fool. Go this way. No, that way. Fake like you're going that way and then go that way. Circle out, shuffle. You know what I'm saying? Use that footwork. Use that footwork. I mean, Tank is strong. Tank is strong with his at walking you down. Like, his legs are strong, so you can't let him bully you into the ropes. You know what I'm saying? Throw him off. Let him power forward, and you move vertically, you move laterally, not to the right. Maybe to the right sometimes, but go left too. Give him something different. Make him have to cut you off in both directions. Make him have to cut you off in both directions. Because if you cut him off, he cuts you off in both directions, you might not end up on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? Because if you keep going to the right and he's just cutting you off, you're going to end up in the ropes. But if you move that way, move this way, you're not going to end up in the ropes. You're going to eventually get back to the center of the ring. You're going to end up with a little bit more space. So that's my take on it. I could be wrong, but that's just what I saw. How could have Frank used his height better? He stopped jabbing. Well, here's the thing with that. Even though Frank Martin is 3 inches taller than Tank, his arm reach, right? His arm reach is only 1 inch longer. So Tank Davis's arm reach is only 1 inch less than Frank's. So, I mean, yeah, he's 3 inches taller, but his reach is not that much longer. His reach is 1 inch longer. So Tank was able to nullify that reach simply by walking him down and crowding him. So he's crowding Frank's punches, you know what I'm saying? And, yes, what Frank could have done, what if you have less than, if you only have 1 inch reach advantage over your opponent, what you have to start doing, in my mind, right, is using your foot to get more reach, using your foot, right? Using your lead foot. Because you are taller, your steps are, you can take advantage of your height because your legs are longer than your opponent's. So instead of jabbing and taking a smaller step, you can use, if you want to keep Tank off you, right? And he's walking you down, maybe take a shuffle step back, then throw your jab out there, but step out further with your lead foot and jab him that way, right? Jab him that way. That way you're less crowded, right? To backpedal. Don't be afraid to backpedal, to shuffle step backwards, you know what I'm saying, to get more distance. And as you're shuffle stepping, don't just shuffle step straight back. You want to shuffle step maybe a couple steps, and then you cut left or cut right. Get that angle, you know what I'm saying? And that's also a good way to keep you from going into the ropes. So as you shuffle step backwards, throw that jab. You know what I'm saying? But step back with your right foot, and then bring your front foot, not your right foot, your rear foot, then bring your front foot back. But not too far back to where, he's closer to you, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Give the illusion that you're closer because your front foot is closer to him, but have your body back a little further. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to be more out of range of Tank, but you're still going to have better range for yourself. Little shit like that, you can do that. And then don't get the pick. Don't be afraid or apprehensive to pick up both feet at the same time. What I mean by that is, instead of taking step. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna call it running. It's like running, right? It's like running. They're gonna say, "Oh, you're running," and all. So what? It's better to appear that you're running than to get knocked the fuck out. So pick up both feet, right? Pick up both feet. Get out of the way. You know what I'm saying? If he's walking you down, don't just let him walk you down. Like, come on. Even if he's not throwing nothing yet, because he's gonna walk you back into the ropes. Fuck it. When he starts walking you down, fucking shuffle step back. You know what I'm saying? Get both feet off the ground so you can cover more distance and get away, and then go to the left or to the right. You know what I'm saying? Just change directions. Get out of there, meet it, and make him meet you at the center of the ring. Make him meet you at the center of the ring where you have more space, where you can get more reach, where you can do all that type of shit and throw those jabs, throw those combinations, long combinations. You know what I'm saying? And if he comes in close, you might have to dip to the left or to the right. Dip, not just slip. Dip, meaning instead of just slipping, left to right, with at your waist, you're stepping. You take a step to the left and you dip at the same time. Throw a body shot. You know what I'm saying? And come back to the top, or throw two body shots and go to the top. And do the same thing. Do it to the right, dip right. And then, if you have to, dip right, dip left, and then pivot. So if you step left and dip, if you dip left, pivot right. You know what I'm saying? Or pivot left. No. Yeah. Pick up your pivot to the left. So step left, dip left, pivot left, right? So now you have changed position. He has to turn to meet you. And guess what? You can go back to the center of the ring. You can laterally step. You can shuffle step left, get back to the center of the ring, and then meet him right there. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can do. A lot of different looks you can give him. De La Hoya is good at running. Yeah, it is what it is. Devin losing to a taller Garcia was beneficial for selling the fight. Selling which fight? Oh, you talking about the Tank versus Ryan Garcia? Which one? Which fight? Well, what I think is, man, is that all Frank had to do was his boxing was good, you know, his footwork was good, his quickness was, he had quickness and all that type of shit. His combination punches were good. It's just that when Tank started walking, he walked him in the direction. Tank did what he wanted with him when he started walking him down in that high guard, right? In that high guard, that high guard, right? That high guard, Frank could have, you know, hell, throw some combination at his high guard. Fuck it, throw some combination at his high guard, and then circle out. You know, as you're getting out of there, do something to distract him. You know, because he's gonna let you throw. He's gonna walk you down. He's gonna use his high guard. He's gonna let you throw some punches, and then he's gonna counter. Right? He's gonna slip and counter. He's gonna slip and counter. Slip and counter. But you got to stay moving. Keep your head off the center line. So if Tank is walking you down, he has a high guard. He's looking to make you throw, right? So that he can slip and counter, but you're not throwing anything, Frank. So all you're doing is circling to the right once he gets you against the ropes. Throw some punches. Throw a combination at his high guard. But keep your head off the center line and away from his power punch. Preferably, right? Slip left, slip right, you know, dip left, dip right. Don't just use your feet, use your waist, use your head movement, right? Head movement using your waist, right? Not like this, of course, right? Head movement is, you know, turn your body, right? I mean, you did the Philly shell. Okay, that's cool. But so you use the Philly shell, right? When Tank leaned, right? So like he had you in the ropes, and if he were favoring his right side to throw some shots, you were Philly shelling, right? You use the Philly shell. But if Tank was forward with the high guard, you came down with your high guard, which was not very good high guard. You had all this space between, you know what I'm saying, between your forearms. So if you're going to use a high guard, you got to have your gloves, your elbows closer together, right? So that's how he caught you with that uppercut. You know, that's how he caught you with that uppercut that dazed you, and that's where he threw that straight right, or that, you know, that overhand left and took you out. I don't know, man. There are different things, man. There are different things that he could have done. But this is boxing, though. This is boxing. He's probably a little nervous. He got caught in that corner and didn't know what to do with himself. It is what it is. But I'm hoping that Frank could come out of that better. You know, I think that experience is going to help him in the future at 135, and you know, I think he. Because see, Shakur Stevenson would not have gotten caught like that. I think Shakur Stevenson would have made the adjustments and did what he had to do to not get caught in the corner like that. I don't think Shakur would have got caught in the corner at all. He would have, you know, posted. He would have posted his left hand and just shuffled left to right. You know, even before his back touched the ropes, you know, Tank Davis would have walked him down, and before he got even close enough to the ropes to touch it, Shakur would have got the fuck out of there, like, you know what I'm saying? And he would have threw one shot here or there, do some counters, punches, and all that type of shit. Kept his body back, you know, because Shakur's really good at keeping that front foot close, but his body leaning back, right? So that he could throw his shots and have you miss, or that have you miss and make you pay, and then lean back and then use his footwork to get out of there. And Shakur is really good at that. It would be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see how Tank would do against Shakur Stevenson, who would do a lot better than Frank Martin did boxing wise against Tank Davis. Right? Yeah, he doesn't have the power to stop Tank, but he probably could win on scorecards if he don't get knocked out. So, yeah. Shakur footwork is excellent, but I don't know about the power. No, well, Shakur ain't got no power, man. Shakur ain't got the power to stop Tank. That's for damn sure. Or he even hurt Tank. I mean, he would just have to score on point. He would have to score points. Like, he would have to win on the scorecard. Convincing, right? And he would not. That means that he can't let Tank hit him very much at all. Because if Tank hits him at all, right, really more than a few times per round, then I believe that Shakur is going to lose on the scorecards if he doesn't get knocked out. So Shakur would have to stay mobile. He would have to use his jab. He would have to counter, you know what I'm saying? He would have to let Tank get close enough to throw his shots, counter them, and then get out the fuck out the way. It's going to be one shot, move, one shot, move, one shot, move. It's going to be shoulder roll, left, straight left, get the fuck out of there. It's going to be, slip right or slip left, throw right. Shakur would have to stay mobile. He would be essentially what people would call running. Shakur would have to run the whole fight, land a shot here and there. Don't let Tank hit him, and that would be it. That would be the best way for Shakur to win that. Frank was successful with the combination, so he wouldn't be able to throw combinations like Frank, right? He's not going to do that. He's going to throw one shot here and there, and he's going to stay moving. He's going to fight off the back foot. He's going to use lateral movement in both directions. He is going to have a lot of head movement. When he's stationary, when Shakur's stationary, he's really good at defense as well. So, he's going to use all those defensive weapons against Tank, and he's going to have to land. He's going to have to land meaningful shots and not get hit. Not get hit at all. Like, he cannot get hit by Tank, whether he gets knocked out or not. If Tank lands punches, he's going to lose in scorecards. Because guess why? They both do not throw a lot of punches. They're neither one of those guys are volume punchers. So, Tank's punches are going to have more stank on it than Shakur's. And that is what the judges are going to see. They're going to see, okay, when Tank hits Shakur, it's a lot more meaningful than when Shakur hits Tank. And at the same time, Tank is aggressive. Tank is pressing the action. Tank is stalking. Tank is walking Shakur down. So he's going to have that effective aggression on his side. Shakur is going to have ring generalship and defense on his side. So those are the two criteria. Those are the four criteria. Tank's going to have two, and Shakur is going to have two. But because Tank is going to edge that one out. Tank is going to edge it out, I think. That's just why I think Tank beats Shakur. Not necessarily by knockout, but on the scorecards. If Tank lands shots. If Tank lands in 4 or 5 to 8 shots per round, even if Shakur lands 10, Tank is going to win on the scorecards. That's what I think. Tank is going to be the more aggressive, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have better effective aggression. Unless, now here's the thing. If Shakur can make Tank miss a lot of punches and a bunch of counters, Shakur is going to win that fight. Like, Shakur's going to win. So I think that's going to be a very interesting fight. He's not going to knock Shakur out though. He's not going to be able to do it. I don't think Tank knocks out Shakur. It'll be very hard to land a shot that can knock Shakur out, especially head. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that Tank is going to land very many headshots against Shakur Stevenson. He's going to get some body shots in there. But we do know that Shakur has been hurt to the body, so that could be Tank's strategy. Even Shakur said it himself when he fought Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez hurt him to the body, right? He said that in an interview way later on, but act like he wasn't hurt immediately after fighting Oscar Valdez. So Oscar Valdez was able to hurt Shakur to the body, and so we know that Shakur can get hurt to the body. I think that's where Tank Davis is going to go. Tank Davis is going to go to the body. He's not going to be able to get to the head, because Shakur fights long and tall, and he uses that shoulder roll effectively, and he uses lateral movement and all that. Tank is going to have to cut Shakur off with body punches. So if Shakur moves laterally to the left, Tank is going to have to throw some right hooks, to the body. If Shakur moves laterally to the right, he's going to have to hit him with some good right hand punches or left hand hooks and whatnot and uppercuts. So, but it's going to be very hard for Tank to fire a uppercut to the head or a hook to the head or even a straight right or a straight left to the head of Shakur. That's going to be very difficult. Haney and Tank. Well, Haney is going to be a lot more active with his punches. He's not going to be as defensively sound as Shakur. So I think Tank is going to be looking to, and I don't think Devin Haney has any issues with body shots. I don't think so. So I think that Tank is going to try to set Haney up with something. But here's the thing. Haney's offense is less predictable than Frank Martin, right? It's not going to be as predictable. So his footwork is not going to be as predictable as Frank Martin's. Devin Haney is not just going to circle to the right or to the left. He's going to go back. He's going to go back. He's going to do a lot of L stepping in both directions. He is going to shuffle. He is going to throw combinations as he's shuffling, just to keep busy and keep distracted to Tank Davis. I think that Devin Haney is going to throw a lot of body shots, right? And he's going to land a lot of body shots. So Devin Haney is going to be successful going to the body of Tank Davis. And Tank Davis, I think that he's going to adjust to that by, keeping his hands down, maybe. Keeping his hands lower, right? He's not going to use the high guard very much, Devin Haney, because he's not going to respect his power enough. But I think that Devin Haney cracks better at the body. I think he cracks the body better than the cracks the head. So because he has excellent punch placement, to the spleen and to the liver. So he knows how to hit that liver. He knows how to hit that spleen. So Devin Haney is going to throw a lot of body shots. He's going to jab a lot, right? He's going to jab a lot. Tank is going to be looking to slip the jab, roll under the jab, and try to come up with some explosive shots to the head, right? And Devin is going to have to make sure that he rolls, but he can't be doing that roll where his face is parallel to the mat, because Tank is going to see that, and he's going to throw a devastating uppercut. So, you know, Tank might feint a straight left hand, and expect Haney to roll under that, maybe to slip right, roll under, and if he rolls under with his face parallel to the mat, Tank is going to throw a right uppercut. I believe he's going to throw a right uppercut, and then vice versa. If Tank throws a jab and he rolls under the jab, or he rolls under the right hook of Tank, or something like that, he's going to roll and end up, you know, with his face goddamn parallel. He can't do that. He can't be rolling at the waist like that. I think that Devin would have to, if he's going to roll, you're going to have to roll out, right? So if you roll to the right, take a step to the right. Just take a rear step as you're rolling, and try to keep your chest vertical as you're rolling. You're gonna have to roll low. So I don't even think he should be rolling against Tank, rolling under looping shots against Tank, because Tank is much shorter than him. It's going to be very hard for him to get under that, and it's going to take a lot of energy. So I don't even think Devin should roll, right? If Tank throws a looping right or a looping left hand, it's better for Devin to step back, lean back, right? Lean back, step back, shuffle back, you know what I'm saying? And come back in, maybe throw some counter, right? Devin, I think, would have to do that. He would have to, don't roll. Don't roll against Tank. Don't get low against Tank. Stay tall, you know what I'm saying? Use those angles, like I said, to get those the body shots in, you know. You're gonna have to just hit it. You're gonna have to take him to the body. Just take him to the body. The more body shots you land, the more Tank is he's gonna lower his guard, right, to protect his body, and then maybe start throwing some shots to the head. You know, just to score points, not to try to knock Tank out. Do not try to not take out. Just score, right? You just gotta win. Throw some jabs. Step out. Throw a straight right hand, you know, to get those angles. To take, you know, step left as you throw your right hand, angle out, throw a body shot. That's what I think you should do. That's how I feel. And then with Tank is going to have to walk Devin Haney down. This is what he's going to do. He's going to walk Devin Haney down. He's going to use a high guard, right? That's very successful for him. He's going to have to use a high guard until Devin starts going to the body a lot. Then he's going to have to change it up. He's going to have to lower his hands a little bit. He's going to have to not worry about the headshots, and you know, he's going to have to be explosive. He's going to have to use those gazelle punches. He's going to have to try to you know, maybe throw some gazelle punches to the head repeatedly. And if Devin is effective against defending that, throw a gazelle punch to the body. He's going to think you're throwing it to the head, but you're going to throw it to the body. Catch him with a body shot. See how that works. But I don't think that Devin is going to just give up patterns like that against Tank. He's not going to do that. He's not going to keep circling right. Shakur's not going to do that. You know, hopefully, you know, but we'll see. Hopefully they fight, and we can see what actually going to happen. But that's what I think is going to happen. I think that if Devin and Tank fight, I think Devin wins on the scorecards. I think Devin beats him, because Devin is going to throw more punches than Shakur. He is going to land effective body shots. He is going to be able to keep Tank at range. And if Tank starts really pressing the action, he's going to be able to circle out. He's going to be able to pivot L step and get out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And start and go that route. That's what I think is going to happen. Haney can also make adjustments better. Yes, Haney is good at making adjustments. Yes, So if Tank is able to adjust and not allow Devin to land body shots and starts, maybe catch the body shot and then throw uppercuts, Devin is going to start throwing shots to the middle, right down the center to the solar plex. That's what I think that should happen. So if the liver and the spleen shots are no longer effective, the kidney shots, whatever you want to say, then you're gonna have to start throwing some shit straight down the middle to the body, right? And a little bit lower than the solar plexus, right? Because Tank's high guard is very good. If you're still using the high guard, it's going to be very hard to hit him in the solar plexus. You're probably going to go a little bit lower than that. Right above the belt. Right above the belt or right at the belt. You're going to have to start throwing some shit there. And then you're going to have to start feinting. Feint to the body and go up top. Feint to the body, go up top. Feint to the body, go up top. And little shit like that. That's what I think would make Devin effective against Tank. But again, this is just me speculating based on what I've seen. Based on what I've seen from both fighters. Based on both their styles. That's what I believe is going to happen. Tank is the face of boxing. Stay mad. What are you talking about? Who's mad? I'm not mad. 22 Ronin. Did I appear angry at any point during this live stream? Just help me understand that. Apparently I'm mad, and I gotta stay mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Hell, it was a good fight. Frank Martin shit the bed. Frank Martin did not make the proper adjustments. He kept going to the right, He got knocked out. There's nothing to be mad at. I mean, that's boxing, right? Why would I be mad? Y'all motherfuckers are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Dead Mike is not a Tank fan. He's a Devin Haney hater. And he feels like I'm a Devin Haney fan. So he thinks that I'm going to be mad if Tank beats somebody other than Devin. I don't understand the logic, but it is what it is. I don't think I was angry at any point during this live stream. But that's what these people do, man. This sport has drawn in a lot of what's the names. What you fail to realize is Tank will make adjustments to these adjustments. It just what? He's going to make adjustments to adjustments. So what? So? And Shakur is going to make adjustments to Tank's adjustments from his adjustments. Devin can do the same thing. But there's only so many adjustments you can make. Right? There's only so many adjustments you can make based on your skill set and your ability and your gas tank and whatnot. There's only so many adjustments you can make. Tank Davis cannot make infinite numbers of adjustments. That's not how that works. I mean, how many? And who's to say that the adjustment he makes is going to be effective? Who's to say that the adjustment Shakur makes is going to be effective, or Devin? It might be ineffective adjustments. At the end of the day, Tank Davis is a human being and a boxer. He's a great fighter, and he got the better of Frank Martin. Frank Martin, who did very well against him, I believe, until except for certain moments. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Okay, so he's gonna make adjustments. He has not had to make very many adjustments in his boxing career. That's just what it is. He has not had to do that. I mean, that's just the way it is. Tank had Frank on the back foot like the whole night. He was scared to engage. That's not true, because Frank Martin threw a lot of combination punches and landed quite a few punches. That's not true. right? That's not true. The only time Frank was scared to engage was or unwilling to engage, was when he was on the ropes. But when he was in the center of the ring with Tank, he was engaging quite a bit and very effectively. So the only problem is he was not able to stay in the center of the ring or get back to the center of the ring. Frank Martin engaged. What are you talking about? Get out of here with that nonsense. That's oh my God, these wild takes are just crazy. David I wouldn't say he has no power. It's just that he's going up against bigger guys that can withstand the power. David Benavidez went up in weight. His power did not carry over as much. And and what's interesting to me, I never really did think that David Benavidez was such a special, great, just amazing fighter. I mean, the guy is 6'2" and walks around over 200 pounds, and he missed weight a lot in the weight division. And so, but y'all don't want to call him a weight bully, right? You don't want to call the people that miss weight a bunch of times weight bullies, but the guys that continuously and constantly make weight, y'all want to call them weight bullies because you see cheekbones. You can't make this shit up. David Benavidez, in my mind, would be what one would consider a weight bully because he has missed weight multiple times. He's over 200 pounds, 6'2", 6'3", but I don't call people weight bullies because the person they're fighting signed up to fight the motherfucker. So I don't even use that word. I'm just saying, if I were to say that someone was a weight bully, I would say David Benavidez was one, but y'all don't want to do that because who knows? But by y'all definition, David Benavidez should be considered a weight bully, but y'all don't want to say that. So when he fights at 175, he's less of what one might consider a weight bully. And and those guys up there, they all probably walk around over 200 pounds as well. So their punch resistance is going to be higher. They're going to be able to withstand just what it is, right? 175 is not a punk ass division either. So, I don't think that, again, I think that David Benavidez should fight a few more guys at 175 before trying his hand at Bivol and Better Biev, especially Better Biev. Like, no, don't even try it, pimping. Fight a couple more people at 175. To see how you do. David is suspect. I think cardio will beat him now. Well, maybe. Cardio was an issue in this fight, but I think if he keeps fighting and training for that weight, his cardio might adjust. The cardio is not going to be the problem. The problem is going to be that his power is not going to translate as well. And he likes to stand in front of you to punches. He's not very slick, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't his head does not go off the center line. So fighters like Bivol and Better Biev are going to recognize that, and they're going to land some great shots, and he's going to end up getting knocked out. That's what I think. I think that if, maybe not by Bivol, but if he tries to fight Better Biev too soon, and he ain't got that much time because Better Biev is 37, 38 years old, he's going to have to hurry up and fight Better Biev if he wants to fight him. And Better Biev, I think, is going to put him to sleep. I think he's going to put him to sleep. So that's how I feel about it, about David Benavidez at 175. I don't think that, I think there was some talk about him saying that he's probably willing to go to heavyweight. No, I don't think you should do that, David. Just, because you've been fighting much of your career at 168, and you just tried 175, did okay, was able to pull off the win, but no, stay away from the heavyweight division. That's what I would say. Stay away from cruiserweight. Don't do that either. I just don't think that. I don't think that you can. Yeah, he don't need to be fighting no heavyweights. You know, Alexander Usyk was able to do it, but Alexander Usyk was a cruiserweight for quite a while, and Usyk is a lot slicker, and his boxing ability is a lot higher than David Benavidez. Heavyweight title needs to come home. I agree. You know, but who's gonna do it? What American heavyweight is going to pull it off? What American heavyweight is going to bring the title home? Bring the titles. You know, Wilder is out. You know, unfortunately, Wilder's not going to. I don't think Wilder is ever going to have an opportunity to be able to get that. What American heavyweight is going to do it? I have no idea. David Benavidez is not it though. So let's not look to him to do that. No, he's not the answer. But we might have to wait a little bit for a young up-and-coming boxer, a heavyweight, American heavyweight fighter, to step up to the plate. We just don't have very many right now. It's just not. I mean, who can we? I mean, can y'all name like 3? Can we name 3 heavyweight boxers from America that could challenge AJ, that could challenge Alexander Usyk? I mean, AJ's not even champion anymore. Alexander Usyk is undisputed at heavyweight. And so, well, if he fights, I don't know what they're going to do with the belts if he rematches Fury. But who do we have that's going to take it from Alexander Usyk? He already whooped AJ twice. They cheated David Benoit. So Daniel Dubois. So Daniel Dubois got robbed. Okay, it was a highway robbery in broad daylight. So that's the best opportunity for Alexander to lose the belt. But Daniel Dubois is British. He's a UK fighter. Who do we have? Who can challenge Canelo? Well, I don't know. If David Benavidez, if he goes back down to 168, I think that Crawford and Canelo might have agreed to fight. I think that Crawford has a very good chance. The thing is that, you know, Crawford has a very good chance to challenge Canelo. He probably has the best chance. I don't think that who at 168. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody at 168 that could challenge Canelo at all right now. So, I mean, Canelo has just shown that when he went up against who did he fight last time? Shit. No, I don't know. At 168, I don't know. But I think Crawford can present a great challenge to him. Oh yeah, happy Father's Day by hearing here, but thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, Tank Davis. Who does he have at 135? I mean, there's Shakur, there's Loma. To me, that's about it. I mean, who else at 135 can present any level of challenge to Tank? I think Tank could be comfortable going up to 140 and facing some of those guys. You know, Subriel Matias, he lost his belt. So I can see Devin trying to unify that one against, I forgot who the opponent is. So Matias' opponent, he could probably challenge him, you know, if he does not face Sandor Martin. So Sandor Martin is Devin's mandatory. So, but Devin can unify and not have to face his mandatory. But I would say I think Devin should fight Sandor Martin. You know, defeat him. You know, and get back in the game. Make sure that, you know, he did not suffer too much long-term damage from cheating ass Ryan Garcia, who needs to be dealt with. I don't know what the fuck they're waiting on. They need to deal with that motherfucker. Ryan Garcia should not be walking around feeling comfortable. Jerron Boots Ennis. Who does he have at 147? Poor Loma. Those are the only two at 130 that Tank has any challenge with. I feel like Loma. So I think Loma and Tank are going to fight next. Tank is going to defeat Loma. All right. Then Tank is going to fight. Who else has been? So Shakur has WBC belt. I believe Tank has the WBA. Who has the IBF? I forgot. I don't think there's any unified belts at 135 right now. And I'm going to explain why gun-free zones are a problem. I'm going to explain it. And even in a state like, especially in a state like California, where you have all these gun restrictions, all these gun-free zones, and all these permission slips that are necessary. Oh, you can't hear me? All right.